tiniest little thimble glass of food.
Bone Crusher takes Darian to a modest cabin.
Yep.
It does not look like the hearth fires have burned here in a long time. In fact, there are cobwebs kind of in the door as you creak it open. A little bit of dust comes down from the rafters.
He knows we're like cleaning stick with a bunch of branches on it.
Yep.
So it starts cleaning the doorway.
The privacy of this cabin is wooden loops on rods with big kind of like deer hide tarps.
Okay.
That kind of separate the room. The beds are full of like furs, and there are 3 beds, kind of like sectioned off in an area.
This is where I used to sleep.
There's a large hearth with, I don't know, like 40 deer antlers hanging above it, all kind of like in this weird tangled mess. You do notice that there is
been adding to the collection.
That there is a a beautiful metal plate in the fireplace that is of a wolf's head.
Okay.
That is probably the Wolfsheim family symbol.
So,
All sorts of like hunting gear and stuff. There's a pair of snowshoes that belong to Shadow. Well, actually, no. A pair of snowshoes that belong to your father. You see, Shadow's snowshoes are gone.
Okay.
So he's pointing at the metal piece in the fireplace with Wolf said, what does this mean?
It's a family crest.
Yeah, I figured that, but there's some meaning behind it.
It's my name.
You know, I really like your Bone Crusher, but it'd be really a lot easier for it so fucking awkward all the time.
Yes. He looks at Shadow's bed.
Shadow's bed is empty. All of his gears are gone. His boots are gone. His cloak is gone. His bow is gone.
His father's boots, he would fit in them, right?
Who's?
His father's snow boots.
Yeah, snowshoes. They kind of strap on top of boots.
Okay. And we're still in spring.
They're still in spring.
It's light.
What's
I
that?
thought he said boots. Like, boots.
You'd have to travel to the high mountain peaks of the nearby mountains to find snow peaks.
Okay. You leave him behind, and there's nothing here. Hasn't been here in a long time. Let's go and meet Kreiger.
Alright then. Should probably pick up out on the way.
His grandfather probably had lost his memories.
Kreiger's got all of his stuff in a bag. He probably didn't put his armor on for walking around, or did you?
Well, we're going up the road?
Yeah, it's a couple hours to His Highness's mansion.
It's only a couple hours to carry his armor.
Okay, yeah, he's got a big bag over his shoulders. By the time you guys congregate back at the still, you expected Alkur to be in a corner somewhere. He's like drinking shots with people around that are all clustered around the still and praising the Heart of Gold.
Blessed be that which is civilized.
Yeah!
Blessed be to those who travel. Blessed be to those who labor.
I should have brought a bigger bag. I just went behind him like 2 hands to pick them up. Blessed be the ones that are leaving.
To those that make.
Alright, they seem to have made friends with Alkur. Alkur's a little buzzed at this point in time.
You had too many thimble shots.
It's good seeing you all. We'll be back again later.
Did you know Bill is an ox? Son of Bill. Grandson of Bill.
Bill's the moonshiner. I don't know.
Artiste.
Apparently the elf really likes Bill's work.
If you say so.
the trip to the manor in Kreiger, remind me, is just straight up that road, correct?
Well, yeah, we'll just follow the road.
Take a few hours, get there by nightfall.
Before nightfall, but yeah.
Then let's not waste time. We shouldn't be out in the darkness this time.
There's 3 of you now.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he's gonna be a lot of help.
I'm just careful. He's like my grandpa.
He's aged well.
So you'll be there by nightfall. Maybe a little bit of light left.
Need to hurry a little bit.
Okay, give me a D100. 5 or less is a random encounter, only a
I
couple
don't
hours.
have the D10.
16.
Okay, no random encounter.
Saw the 0 and I was like, oh.
Let's go and see what
Oscar.
Ptolemy and Oscar are up to.
We're going out to supper or anything?
Yeah, we should at some point. What time is it?
It's 8 o'clock now.
Late dinner?
Sure.
A couple hours, maybe?
That was good.
9?
So,
What time is it now?
there's
It's
like,
8.
8 o'clock.
there's like a 5 Guys near here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like the cheeseburger and fries.
I'm thinking more like Kelsey's or
NSC or something.
Okay.
MIC or
Okay.
the steakhouse.
Okay.
Is that
That's
Leslie?
Leslie. She's wondering if she can.
Yeah, give us an hour, and then we'll leave. Okay, cool. Forest player's current map, center player's current view.
That's a big Victorian ass looking house.
Where the hell did that come? Many digress.
Ooh, that is a really good question. That house is larger than Sparrow.
Yeah. Well, let's just talk about Ptolemy and
Yeah, sorry.
yeah. Let's give Ptolemy and Oscar their backgrounds. So let's talk about Ptolemy. Ptolemy is a sorcerer who worships the pattern in the weave. He's eccentric, irreverent, and odd. He is the baronet, the lowest of the lowly, of the noble, noble titles. He should technically be baron of this quadrant, but for whatever reason, he's never assumed that responsibility. His family has typically and traditionally been part of the old nobility and were the barons of this particular quadrant. The Van Imp family is a name that was well known in their time, and perhaps they even chose this remotest of quadrants for particular reasons. Now, Ptolemy himself... The old aristocracy has nearly vanished under several decades of war and rule by the Bushi lords and their Iron King. Once proud and feared in their own right during the time of King Hestron, the lords and knights of Epoch ride the land no more. What's left of them are distant relations, clinging to the vestiges of the past, hiding in dilapidated manors and remote mountain keeps. We shall rise again, long live King Hestron, and ride ye knights of Epoch are common sayings that would likely get you killed should you be in the wrong place in this kingdom and utter these out loud. Ptolemy is an odd duck. When the party arrives, Ptolemy, it was warm during the day and he decided that he wanted to go for a swim. So he's dressed in a swimming gown that probably belonged to some female in his family.
Okay.
He has a, what is a parasol? Is a parasol an umbrella?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a parasol.
Parasol's an umbrella that doesn't stop the rain.
Right. Yeah, he's got a parasol to block the light, and he ended up just sort of like poking at the lime green water that is full of algae and leaves and things that the servants have never kept up, because there's really only one servant left, and that's Mr. Golem, and Mr. Golem doesn't clean things. He's not there for cleaning. As beautiful as this place is, it is vine covered, overrun, and hasn't seen proper maintenance in 20 years. There are rooms you just don't go into anymore because rats have taken over that room. No, possums. There is a horrible possum problem in this place. Oscar, when you finally see him.
Sorry, I just picture someone trying to take care of it. The conservator comes in. Yep, they're all dead. I don't know what your problem is.
So we'll zoom in here to where Oscar and Ptolemy are kind of hanging out. So there's Ptolemy kind of poking around the large swimming pool that's been overrun by just the elements.
I think this is the floor plan to a Hitman level.
And Oscar's at some like outdoor kitchen, and you're actually roasting a couple of possums because what the fuck not? Right, it's frugal.
You can argue with free.
You found some of Shadow's traps that he laid around the place a long time ago. You, as a rogue, reset them, and you've now been just sort of living off possum and trying to make them taste good. Or maybe you like possum.
Good.
So Oscar's cooking up some things. Now, Oscar is from a far-off village. He's from the village of Nulb in the kingdom of Samsil, technically in a different quadrant. Now, Nulb is kind of like a hive of scum and villainy. River pirates used that place as their hideout, or as their kind of open hideout, their base of operations. There are a lot of crooked traders and people that would live in Nulb. Historically, Nulb has there are a bunch of cranberry eaters to the rest of civilization. They kind of live in a swampy area, and they're not well trusted. Oscar has worked hard to maintain ties with other merchants in other cities. It's often a thing you don't start out with, like, "Hi, I'm Oscar from Nulb," is kind of like saying, "I'm Oscar from place where you get stabbed in the back." But you do have a home in Nulb, but you spend a lot of time traveling between these remote villages to make ends meet. Oscar is a follower of the Heart of Gold, but perhaps a little more towards the accumulation of things.
Copper saved is a copper earned, and a copper is gold.
It's an excellent saying. Copper saved is a copper earned. 100 copper is a gold. You are technically a rogue trader. This means that you're kind of part of this underground black market that has come up in the chaos of a regime change. And the rogue traders are sort of like bound by honor, but also by greed. If the way that you get rid of other too greedy rogue traders is you rat on them, and then like the hobs will come and cull them and take them away. But if you rat on them, then you might be ratted on yourself, and so there's this weird,
this circular firing squad of like, you gotta be greedy. It can't be too greedy.
You can't be greedy.
Gotta be
You gotta be the
greedy.
right amount of greedy. Yeah, exactly. And then I can detail this a little bit better.
Civilized greedy.
Rogue traders. We don't need to pay taxes if they never know we traded. Can't be too greedy or they'll rat me out. Harsh taxes have resulted in an underground black market in Samsil, one that relies on a strange mix of secrecy, honor, and tempered greed. You gain one of the following as your boon. +1 circumstance bonus on society checks, +1 bonus to identify activity, or +1 circumstance bonus to thievery checks.
It's really hard to say no to thievery checks. Please,
Done.
copper saved, copper earned. Hey, look at copper.
Now, you know that there is a de facto lord, his name is Lord Mayor of Hamlet, that should be subservient to Ptolemy, but Ptolemy just doesn't open his mail. There are letters stacked up that go back, well, I don't know, as long as you've been visiting here. They're in a room. You just know that whatever mail you were told to bring there, you huck it into the room. That's right. You huck it into the room. You take your money.
They pay me delivered.
You do know that, like, you almost like feel sorry for Ptolemy. He's a little scatterbrained. He does have to pay tax, but it's not like he pays tax to Lord Byrne. He pays tax to the Iron Lord, the Iron King. But the way it ends up kind of working is you go up there, take some valuable stuff, cart it back to Hamlet, take your share, give it to the Lord Mayor, who's much more responsible, and the Bushi that is in charge of this quadrant takes it from Lord Byrne, Lord Mayor Byrne. He's a wizard. You're like, you don't want to mess with him too much, but that's the arrangement that you have going on.
So Ptolemy's paying taxes through solely like just liquidating his family's assets?
Yeah, like there's probably no chandeliers left in the building. That was a long time ago. You're down to like silverware is long since gone. You've taken paintings off the walls.
You think they'd take a payment in Possum? I mean, it's not bad.
Huh?
Next season's taxes. Do you think they'd do?
He comes scrambling over. He sits down. Do we have any more of the good stuff?
Eat your possum.
He looks at it. You know Ptolemy. You're his friend. You know that he has horrible nightmares, and that he sees weird things. When he's in that state where he's just sort of staring at the rare possum you just cut on his plate, like he's looking at some sort of eldritch horror.
He's gonna grab like a sauce
But-
and put a happy face on it. There you go.
But he's, as much as he's horrified, Ptolemy is also very curious. He takes a two-pronged fork and is kind of like touching the meat.
There you go.
Oh, excuse me, I got lost there for a moment. What were we saying?
We're running out of. I'm gonna need a bigger cart if I need to bring back, wooden furniture.
Oh, there's no more silverware.
Nah.
All right. I think there's a trunk in the basement.
You sure?
The big mama possum lives down there, though. Big.
That might be a problem.
I remember I poked her because she was playing dead, but then she woke up. Quite rude of her, actually. scurried out of there. I'm lucky to have my nuts.
Ain't we all lucky to have our nets?
Mm, yes. 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 It's good to have nuts.
Good to have nuts.
I'm kind of hungry for nuts now.
He grabs the other possum. Good job.
All right. I suppose possum will do. It's got a gamey taste to it. There's something wrong with these creatures.
Are we eating magical pieces of possum? Like, or what can you possum?
What?
Sorry, are we eating like mutated magical beast possum?
Eat a rat roach.
We're eating rad roach and Fallout.
Oh, yes. Maybe, Mr. Golem will go down there and kill the big one for us. We get out of that trunk.
What does Mr. Golem look like?
Oh. Mr. Golem's nearby, watching. Find Mr. Golem here. For sugar. The dungeon. Bone Sparrow Manor. Mr. Golem. He's 7 feet tall. Kinda weird.
Look at that photo.
Mr. Golem, his ear perks and he just sort of disappears through the guest room where Oscar's staying.
You could probably get a spy on the big possum thing. But you do know that you're like a lady baron. So
A what?
a lady baron.
Oh no, this is just a swimming outfit.
So you're a baronet. Don't know why you're not a baron. You're a baronet. So a lady baron.
It's not how it works.
All right.
But it is a bit funny.
Anywho, you are kind of supposed to be like, collecting taxes from things, and I know you don't really take it from the region, so,
Well, they don't have any money. No one has money these days. What else am I supposed to do?
Stuff becomes money.
We're not using any of it.
Well, I understand frugalness, but we're getting to the extremities here, yeah.
I suppose. He kind of scratches a little bit. You know, what do you expect me to do about it? I'm doing the best I can.
Well, why don't you, I don't know, find a rich girl and marry her?
Mary. Oh. What are we talking about?
We got a possum in the basement.
Right. We're gonna go after the trunk, and hopefully there's something good in there we can use to pay our taxes. Damn hobgoblins. Greedy.
Yeah.
This place was once thriving.
They don't understand how to portion the pie.
We have pie? He's leaving over.
It's a possum.
Oh,
Possum pie.
alright.
Eat your possum.
He takes a nibble at it. Yes, with the sauce, it's definitely better. You guys see what looks like a fucking Emperor's Castle. What the fuck is a place this big and this opulent doing way the hell out here? And who the hell lives here?
Gentlemen, I have a bit of a headache, but we are all seeing the same thing, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Big match.
That are unnecessarily large.
Indeed. More than one would
No wonder he wonder if he joked to call them Your Highness. There is a winding path that leads down into an underground stable. It's wide enough for carriages to go through. What are you trying to ask?
What style of architecture is this?
Yes. Something beyond that of even the builders at the Sanitarium. It's unnatural.
Do you think he has a library? It's got to have a library.
Something the size of the building.
It looks like the kind of place that would have a library.
Okay. Are you going up to the front? Are you going up to the front door, or are you going in through the path that goes underneath?
Both knock on the front. Darian suggests we should knock on the front door. It's the polite thing to do.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if that was, you spoke about Shadow and Bar, right?
Yes.
I wonder if there's any of Shadow's traps here.
Okay, you get up to the front door and the door opens. Like even before you wandered up to knock at it, and you're just sort of staring out at all of you. 7-foot tall man in a
Hello.
dark livery.
Greeting.
Hello.
He steps out into the stoop.
Greetings. My name is Bonecrusher. I am Shadow's brother. I come to ask for aid.
He cocks his head off to the side, and?
I'm coming to ask for aid in finding you. I was hoping that the master follow me, perhaps the dwarf, be aware of this location.
The mention of Master Ptolemy, he rolls his eyes.
Be able to speak with him.
He considers for a moment and then just simply steps off to the side.
Okay, we'll walk in.
Okay. Oh, it's beautiful architecture. There's a grand foyer. Many rooms going off to the side. You simply...
This place truly is fantastic. Although it's a little... could use some maintenance.
Echo! Echo!
He was like listening. He was listening to Alkur speak, but then his eyebrows furrow and when Kreiger is yelling into the place. He offers to take some of your bags and things.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, he takes your backpack from you and kind of holds it in his hand. He's offering to take your other backpacks.
Yeah, Kreiger will use.
Okay, he takes that backpack.
Everything's strapped to Crusher's like, no, I'm fine.
It does come off.
He brings all of your stuff and goes into a closet and places the backpacks just inside the closet.
Possum start sharing it first.
They all get drunk from the moonshine.
You pass through what looks like a beautiful dining room with wooden floors. Everything is polished. There's a big table, but they're missing chairs. There are no chairs in here. You see obvious spots on the wall where there were like shields or perhaps like paintings that were hung, and they're all missing. Even some of the fixtures that might hold sconces are gone, with some sort of like putty. Actually, the sconces are weird. They don't hold. Alkur sees one of the sconces is kind of like this brass like little hand, and it's just got fire flickering out of the top of it.
I'm gonna just kind of like, like just having the...
You ping magic. Mr. Golem turns around and he looks at you.
Sorry, I believe there are magical sconces there, but some of them appear to be missing.
There's a slight smile that crosses his face. as he takes pride from the building that he tends or guards or shows people around in.
Yeah.
There are some closed doors. He leads you around. There's this grand staircase that leads
Does that
up.
say elevator?
It does say elevator. There is something which is a lift.
I see a fucking hot tub.
He brings you through a formal living room. Again, beautiful, large furniture. There's a big couch, but there are no chairs where there should be chairs. You see a gaming table with no games on it. You see places where they're obviously missing things off the walls. Dust and cobwebs are starting to collect up in the corners. Like, did you get the sense that definitely this place is not kept? A beautiful fireplace that has now been overrun by little spiders. You walk out into this beautiful tiled area with this. Is it a swimming pool or is it a pond? Are they trying to grow nature out here? And you smell the barbecue of cooking meat.
Oh, that smells good.
And there's a quirky man in a summer dress with a parasol beside him, and a dwarf, that's digging into what will look like they've got a third possum going. It's sort of like turning on a spit.
Greeting, Matt.
Ptolemy's kind of like staring off at something. He doesn't realize that people are here. But Oscar, you recognize Bone Crusher and Kreiger. You don't know who the others are, though.
Hey, Kreiger, you want to make a shiny copper?
Kreiger, he's here.
Yeah, he's right behind you.
Oh fuck!
Your Highness!
Ptolemy goes running around and is like trying to hide. You saw where he went.
Yeah.
He's like ducking down. Did he see me? You're pretty sure the last time Kreiger punched him in the shoulder in a friendly way, and Ptolemy said his arm went numb for a week.
What? No hugs for your friend? Come on.
Mr. when you kind of went Ptolemy or whatever, or friends, Mr. Golem just warned you. Like,
What? Being friendly. Kreiger kind of goes up on his two toes a little bit.
He then just sort of stands off to the side and lets all of you.
Let them deal with Possum. They can help with the Possum.
But then we'll have to pay them.
Maybe they take Possum.
Pay them in possum. A new currency for a new realm.
If it was a currency for the realm, we would have the mint right here.
We would be rich, wouldn't we? Ptolemy likes to kind of like explore fanciful thoughts. He didn't actually think that possum would be the. He's just willing to explore thoughts.
All ideas are.
Yep.
No ideas. So.
Is he still there?
Yep.
Bone Crusher, are you wandering up to say hello to Oscar?
Yeah.
Krieger?
Hey, Oscar. You got any spare meat earlier?
Oscar's going to push Ptolemy's plate to Kreiger.
Don't feed him, he'll stay.
Oh, there's got the sauce on and everything.
Damn it. He stays on this side with, he kind of looks at all the cooking.
It's a pleasure to see you, Oscar. Ptolemy.
Yeah, it's pleasure to see you.
Oscar's going to pick a dead possum up out of the corner, chuck it on the grill.
Ow! Name's Crusher. You remember me, I hope?
Of course. You'll,
Shadows, brother.
yes, of course. You know who you are. He glances down to your holy symbol, and he seems to be lost in thought as he's looking at it.
By any chance, either of you seen Shadow? Lately,
Missing your shadow.
my brother.
Oh, Shadow.
Shadow, my brothers. Mister.
Wasn't he here? Wait, you hunted the possums? I thought he did.
He might be in the basement.
Shadow might be in the base. But you should go down there armed and with torches.
What do you mean?
Kreiger, you seem to like the meat.
Oh, real good.
There's a really big fat one that lives in the basement.
What?
We'll pay you in possum if you kill the possum.
Wait, what? Well, but you need a possum killed. No, fine, no problem.
You haven't seen this one.
Just where have you seen my brother?
No, I haven't seen Shadow since, well, he stopped by here in the spring.
So you saw him.
Yes. He had some wolf pelts,
See, that's good news.
That is very good news.
but then he went back out again. I think he's chasing the rebel prince.
The what?
Rebel Prince.
Rebel prince.
Do I know that?
Oh yeah, it's spooky
Oh.
stories. It's like a local
But that's
story.
Some damn fool idea we had me.
Yeah, but it's not real.
No. The rebel prince is the king of the wolves. Well, prince actually, but
Baron, Baronet,
Which direction did he go?
King.
you just gotta.
Wait, which direction did he leave it?
He said he was going down the old road, the one that goes through the forests. He said it was about time that someone dealt with the rebel prince. But I don't think he wants to deal with it the way that I've said too much.
No one listening.
Oh, I have a question for you. This is Darian.
Go ahead.
Oh, hi there. Is he here to arrest us? He says to us.
These are my friends.
Is,
My apologies, these are my friends.
Is that guy wearing traditional noble garb?
This is Darian.
Oh, I still have on my swimming attire. No one's cleaned the pool this year, I don't think, and it got rather chilly.
No.
Right.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Tell you what.
Are you a knight of Epoch?
No. Just night.
But you are a knight.
Are you a knight of of the people kind of knight, or are you a knight of like other people kind of knight?
He's my guy.
He comes running around, he puts down the parasol, he kind of just hands it to Kreiger. He's like, here you go. I am Baronet Ptolemy Van Imp. A long line of Van Imp family. I am, well, next in line.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. It's a pleasure to meet you, my lord. I am here to meet the one who is in charge.
Yeah, my father.
This is gonna be good.
Well, my father went off to war to rescue my mother, who was in her house in the capital of Epoch. And
Well, this was recent.
my grandfather died.
I believe that makes you in charge, Baronet.
No, my father will come back with my mother, and they'll resume managing the quadrant.
How long has it been away?
Carry the one. 10, 15, sometime.
10 years isn't that long.
Then it is best.
North of 10 years.
It is in your best interest to assume the title until your father returns.
Well, no, I don't have the ring, I don't have the sigil, I don't have the mumbling priest to bless the old aristocracy, there needs to be like witnesses.
Witnesses.
It's so difficult just managing the household without servants. Without lots of servants. Mr. Golem over there is always handy to help out.
What happened to your servants?
Because they left.
Why did they leave?
15 years. Don't think my father paid them.
Was your father here?
No.
So did you pay them?
As each of the servants left, I gave them something to take with them.
I just picture someone, the groundskeeper. Here's a painting of my grandfather.
Oscar kind of stepped in to help manage what should be a proper severance, but yeah, there's probably a whole bunch of...
Your severance is 3 spoons and a ladle.
I did what I could.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm very busy, he says.
Oh,
He throws part of the swimming apparel. He's got a scarf.
I can see that.
What have you been doing with your time?
I've got important things to do. I'm a baronet.
Have you been learning anything?
I've, well, actually, yes.
Do tell.
Well, it's a bit private. They kind of come out of here. Here?
I don't want to know.
I'm confused again.
I'm a sorcerer, is what he says.
Oh, excellent.
And some of my sorcerer's abilities seem to come from my glands. It's really quite disturbing.
How old?
Yeah, you can keep your glands to yourself.
How old are you?
Kreiger's afraid of my glands.
Well, there are changes in the glands of humans when they reach that age. Sorcerer abilities tend to...
Okay, I'm gonna walk away till we stop talking about glands and changes.
Could you demonstrate one of
How
your,
delightful.
Could you demonstrate one of your abilities?
I don't want to be a show-off. It's never good to be a host and showing off.
No, please.
What do you want to see? How about I cast something that isn't glandular?
Please.
Please do.
All right?
You know, you guys got this all wrong, right? Like, you're not fully fathomed of the circumstance. He was like a kid, like a little ankle biter kid when his pappy left.
There are ankle biters? He's up on one of the seats.
Oscar Furger on his side. I got him. Don't worry about it.
I hate ankle biters. He gets down a little bit. He looks at Alkur. Who are you?
Alkur.
Oh. When did you get here?
Very recently.
Oh, well.
The stores of your family's past, are they still here?
See what?
Library, journals, written history, paintings which would capture oral traditions, tapestries. Why does this house exist? How did it get here?
How it got here is mystery.
It's
Wrapped in
architecture,
enigma. Inside of a riddle.
inside of a lady's swimming garden.
He has no idea.
Oh, very interesting. Secrets of the blood. I like him. He seems to understand.
Oscar, do I have a minute? Do I have a word?
Yeah.
Yes, there are still books.
Should you deliver it? No.
I read.
That's very good. It's good
Yeah.
to read.
Speaking of reading, I got a little message for you. Can you hand something to him?
Oh, just put that in the mail room.
If it goes in You might want to take a peek at that before you stick it in the mail room, just in case it's got something good in there.
It was my father's office.
Yeah, I still don't know where that is. This place is rather large.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Crusher will take it.
It's quite princely, isn't it?
Crusher will put his hand out.
No disrespect.
May I, on your father's behalf?
Go and place it in my father's office for him to read. There's a small mountain of mail that he has to read when he gets back.
Whoa.
There's a horse.
Did you just say you're waiting for your father to read it?
He's the Baron. He's off saving my mother.
How much mail have you opened?
Well, it's all addressed to the Baron, so... none?
It'd be safer to assume that something in the order of 15% or so of the letters were open, but don't worry about that in too much detail.
Oscar, can I have a word?
Well, yes, I opened a few when I was younger when I didn't know better, but I know better now.
Well, this is not addressed to your father.
Oh.
This is addressed to the person in charge.
Follow me, I believe that you are the one in charge. Whether your father... You are the one in charge now.
It's frightfully chilly, isn't it, out here?
No! Subject changer!
Subject changer. You're going to want to take it easy on his brain pan there.
He's looking at the thing that you're holding like it's like...
I'll make it easy for you. I can see you're struggling a bit there, bud. He opens it up and reads it to him.
Okay. It is a letter from the Lord Mayor of Hamlet. His name is the Wizard Byrne, B-R-N-E. And it's basically the first paragraph is directly like opening up. This letter is for the eyes and ears of the Baronet Ptolemy Van Imp, grandson of
Do your damn job.
the rightful ruler of this quadrant. The second paragraph is kind of an admonishment of, we have sent missives and messages many times over the years, and hope that this one reaches your eyes and ears, and that your noble personage is well. There have been recent troubles in the village of Hamlet. A certain tide is on the rise again, and we are in need of assistance. We hope that your noble bearing is as brave and as true as the long line of your family.
Oscar starts.
Yeah, exactly.
It was brave.
So to paraphrase, my lord, time to take off the dress, put on your big boy pants, because there's things to do.
I have pants.
Perhaps it's best that you put them on.
Oh. Hamlet's far from here, and it's through the dire wood.
Isn't that the road that my brother took?
Yes, but there are wolves out there and horrible things.
I plan on heading out to find him. If any of you choose to follow me, come with.
Wouldn't it be better to head out there on a nice full belly of freshly killed giant possum in the basement? Where's the basement?
Well, I would rest easier knowing that the giant possum is dead.
Where's the basement?
Fine, we will kill your possum.
Where's the basement?
Yes, kill the possum. Can I put on my pants first?
By all means.
Where are your pants?
I'll be right back. I don't want to miss this. Oscar, get your knife.
I'm finished eating.
Yes, Kreiger. Perhaps possum on your breath will enrage the giant possum, and it will attack you first.
Crusher will talk to Mr. What's his name? Mr. Golem.
Okay, so you approach Mr. Golem. Ptolemy disappears through the to the center area.
Alkur starts poking around. Like he's like looking and like taking an inventory of things that are missing.
Yep.
Do you know?
Sketchings, fucking architecture, like drawing a map of the building kind of thing.
Yep. The letter did continue that they are worried about upcoming culling and taxes.
Okay.
It also warns that banditry is on the rise around Hamlet, and that there are dire portents that have been cast.
Okay, well, we'll keep that till secret till we're on the road, then we'll tell them. Hey!
It'd be my duty there to tell you, that there's also bandits on the road.
Oh, look, there's more on the back.
Mr. Golden. Do you know anything about this creature in the basement?
He just
Is it large? Larger than me and Kreiger combined?
It's a possum. How big
If
is it?
there's a giant possum monster manual, I feel like we're going to get attacked by a brown bear or some shit like that.
Oh my god! This is not a
Have you been to the Imagination Museum with the giant sloths that are like freaking like 12 feet tall?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Sloth.
Giant sloth.
Still.
These are like old ancient creatures that don't exist.
Yeah.
bigger than both of you. He thinks for a moment. He shakes his head. He actually raises his hands out long, and he's actually describing what could be the size of a large dog.
Okay.
Like a pony.
It is a big possum, but
It is large.
nothing we can't handle.
I think we'll be alright.
If you do what you did to the spider, to the...
He then goes like this and goes.
He means it's fucking narrow down there.
Oh.
Tight space. Your big gangly arms and tall bodies just gonna bang your head off things.
Very difficult to fight down there, you say.
He looks at Crusher's stuff. Do you carry torches? No?
Well, I have torches.
Okay, yeah, he grabs one of your torches from your backpack, puts it in your hand.
Use your own.
Looks at the other guys like, use your own. He does Crusher for the neck.
I do.
He taps at the end of the torch and then waves his hand up in the air.
I'll cast its light.
It is dark down there. It's understood. I, like my brother, not limited by the light.
Okay. He then just waits.
Yeah, I could use a torch.
I want to see how light works now. I remember it being different.
Ptolemy opens up a window and looks down to you. Like he's kind of above where you guys are. What color pants should I wear?
Brown ones.
Why brown?
No reason.
You'll find out.
I don't have any brown pants.
Just take the blue ones. You like the blue ones, the ones with the purple stitching.
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Gold, could you prepare a traveling card for Ptolemy as well?
He nods.
Thank you. Would you be staying with the manor, or would you be joining Mr. Ptolemy?
He nods at the staying at the manor.
Thank you.
He bids Crusher to follow him.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Oh, can you zoom out a bit?
Yep.
No, the map.
Yeah. He goes to the main level, which
That map.
yeah. He brings you down to the lower level
Oh, okay.
and he murders you. I mean,
New character.
this place is nice.
Down.
Where are they?
Yeah, it's just
What's the magic?
Okay, there. Zoom in. North of that. West.
Put your sword on that.
Oh, those are just white spots. Sorry.
Cast light on this one.
That is brilliant. Thank you.
Isn't that us? No, it's
Happy hunting.
Control Z maybe? Undo?
Right.
I helped.
Your shield or mage armor you put on anyone?
Those don't work any of the way you think they work.
It's a new game.
It's a new game.
Okay, he brings you all the way up to a window, and he actually points through the window. He actually wipes into the window, and you can see with your dark vision that there's this beautiful carriage. Big, black, beautiful carriage. It's like something a noble should ride around in.
Excellent. That will serve as excellent protection from the elements in the, well, animals. You do need horses, though. Actually, alright, Christian, think like, it's me, Kreiger. You have 4 horses. We need 4 horses. Kreiger.
So he does say that there is a carriage. It is an option.
Ah. Okay, Crusher will actually go and inspect it. Then.
Oh, he stops you.
Nope. Dangerous. The possum. Yes. Alright, maybe we can just use the possum.
He doesn't find your tomfoolery amusing. He has to put up with Ptolemy's tomfoolery.
It doesn't. We need to find horses. Okay.
Okay, so that's what he shows Crusher.
Crusher, yeah.
Ptolemy's packing some ridiculous stuff and dressing in his shiny blue pants. This place has a lot of pools.
Good to know.
I swear they pumped this from a hitman level where you're trying to assassinate a pimp or something.
Yeah.
A Russian mob boss.
Okay, it's probably a good time to take a break for dinner, so I'll stop the recording, and when we start it back up again, we'll play the big possum hunt in the Van Imp Manor.
Get it over there.
If it runs around, it's gone. So we just possum through the basement.
Awesome.
Did everyone get their boon? Ptolemy doesn't have his boon. Let's see what I came up with.
Boom, pimp ass,
+1
baller house.
evaporation spells.
But yeah, this house would be amazing if you
Confused.
Fixed it up.
Confused resistance +1 versus enchantment spells because I don't
Okay.
quite understand what you mean.
and I think we're gonna call this part 1. I think this is part 1. Do we have a name for part 1?
The 18?
Looking for shadows.
Looking for shadows.
So session 0 happened on